All right, well, hello, I am Cecily, and I am here to introduce the leadership team to you. Basically, what the leadership team does is plan out all of the, administrative, operational side of MSP, as you know. You might not know all of us, and so this is why I will be introducing everyone. And first of all, I want to say I'm so happy that you are all here. It's literally so cool that we have created this environment and that we're all interacting through Zoom. And I know this isn't, the ideal circumstances, but honestly, for what the world's looking like, it's pretty ideal. And so, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started with our king, the dude that started it all, Martin Arceo. He is our project developer. Martin, do you want to say a few words?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Yeah, those are some fun photos from my Instagram. That's me at Utah. That's me when I graduated. But if there's any, if anyone wants to throw a line or ever want to talk about anything, you're always free to message me or text me or anything. But that's me.
Okay, all right. Next, we have Alysha, the queen, obviously. She is also presenting this with me. She was the president of the UCSD chapter recently. Do you want to say a few words, Alysha?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I know some of you know me, some of you don't. I hope you know that my line is also always open if you ever want to chat about absolutely anything. I am here. There's some fun pictures at my time from UCSD. Loved it there. I did graduate. So now this is my afterlife. Well, maybe that's not the right word, but it's super nice to be here with all of you. I'll be looking forward to presenting to you in like a few minutes.
Alrighty, and next up we have Hannah, our Director of Service Navigation. Hannah is literally so amazing and has done so much work to beef up the Service Navigation program that you guys all will be very familiar with soon. Do you want to say a few words?
Hello, everyone. For the service navigation program, but of course, like everything in this project, it's all about teamwork. I work really closely with other people on the leadership team to make things happen. And it's just been like a real pleasure working with everyone. Also, if anybody ever wants to reach out to talk about the service navigation program or literally anything else, my line is always also open. I also apologize. I don't have the very cool background that everyone else does. My computer was not cooperating. But yeah.
Thank you, Hannah. Next we have Geetha, everyone's favorite. The light of my life, our Director of Recruitment. She's so wonderful and hardworking and beautiful, and she put this whole conference together. So we should all be giving such a huge round of applause to Geetha, our MC. Do you want to say a few words, Geetha?
Wow, I am so honored by that welcoming. Thank you so much, Cecily. I just want to say that I feel so blessed to be a part of this project and surrounded by such incredible, hardworking individuals like yourselves. As always, like every single person has said so far, my line is always open to each and every one of you. Slack me, email me, you all have my email. I'm sorry for all of the notifications up to the conference. I was like frantically texting you all. But I'm so happy that you are here and that we are able to continue to have a conference even in the middle of a pandemic. Always remember to take care of yourself. I am super big on mental health. Excuse me. And if you ever want to talk about literally anything, feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much, Geetha. Next, we have Antoinette, our Director of Finance, literally the most gifted person I've seen on Excel sheets. She has magic fingers. I don't know how you do it, but we couldn't do any of this without you. Like Anthony said, budget is literally everything in in this world. And so we are extremely grateful for Antoinette and her powers. Antoinette, do you want to say some words?
Hi guys, thank you for sharing your time today. I'm only second to Erikka. She can do so much more on spreadsheets, honestly. But always free to talk to you all, especially career-wise, 6 to 10 though. But yeah, thank you for giving your time for today.
Awesome, thank you, Antoinette. Next up, we have Erikka, our Director of Data and Analysis. Erikka is the one behind the scenes, gathering all the data so that we can actually be a functioning org. Y'all might not be familiar with too much of the work that she does, but trust me, she is one of the pillars of this organization. Erikka, do you want to say some words?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I know some of you from UCSD graduated from UCSD this past class of COVID 2019. But just excited to see how things go. And like, as everyone else said, feel free to hit me up if you have any questions about like what we're doing MSP data wise, or if you just have like, I'm a little techie. So if you have any like techie stuff in terms of jobs and future stuff that way, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Erikka. Next, we'll be moving on to our Director of Publicity, Seti. Seti was, when I was president of the SCSU chapter, she was our social media rep. And if you go to the Mustard Project Instagram, Facebook, SCSU Instagram, all of those beautiful posts were created by the one and only Seti Akhavan. She will be starting. I just want to say congratulations. You're going to be starting on your master's at UCLA this fall, and that is so amazing. I'm so excited for you and to see what you're going to be doing with the rest of life. Do you want to say a few words?
You're too kind to me, Cecily. Hi everyone. Thank you for all being here with us today. We couldn't have done anything without you guys, so awesome. And yeah, follow our socials.
So next up, we have the one and only Quoc, our Director of Fundraising. I know all of you have seen our website, have seen our fundraisers. All of those beautiful words were written by Quoc, the poet, the one and only. He has a way with words, and we are so grateful that he is able to articulate our feelings. Sometimes that is hard. But yeah, Quoc, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everyone. I joined this org like 2 years ago, and over the years I've seen a lot of dedication and passion from like the people that I'm working with. So, and this is my first conference, so I'm just excited to be here.
Thank you, Quoc. We appreciate you. And next up, we have yours truly. I am Cecily, your Director of Chapter Programs. Over the next, term, you'll probably I'll be getting pretty familiar with me because I will be bothering you. I will be in your notifications all the time. But yeah, I was the president of the SCSU chapter last year, and now I'm super excited to be on the leadership team. And I hope to work with you all soon. Thank you, Geetha.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cecily. I am now so excited to give the floor over to the incredible Alysha, who is going to talk about our community advocacy structure.
Hello, friends and colleagues, and well, we're all friends. So hello, friends. So I'm just gonna quickly go over some structure changes that we're making that I'm really excited to announce. So if you think about the way our current chapter structure is, we have our board members, we have our volunteers, we have our volunteer coordinators, and this structure works. Don't get me wrong, like we're all working and our chapters are doing really well with it. But we thought, while we're already an org that's so innovative, why don't we keep pushing that innovation? So we wanted to adjust our structure to reflect a few goals that we have. First, we want to emphasize growth and the ability to grow within Mustard Seed Project. You can start as a volunteer and end up anywhere. And I can point to a number of different people, like Quoc started with us volunteering, Canwin started with us volunteering. So we wanted to emphasize the ability to grow within Mustard Seed Project. emphasize community, and that even though there is like hierarchy between positions, we are all still serving the same purpose. Education, in that the deeper you go into MSP, the more you learn, and just the more you learn so much about homelessness, about just a lot of different stuff, in my opinion. And we wanted to add just a little more structure to help chapters do chapter stuff. So we came up with a new structure, and we're calling this the community advocacy structure. So within the community advocacy structure, all of your positions and stuff stay the same, but we delineate people into 3 different levels: community advocate level 1, 2, and 3. Community advocate level 1s are going to be new members and general members. These are members that seek to gain more experience and deepen their knowledge on issues surrounding homelessness. So these are people that are brand new, and they're also people that didn't necessarily choose to move past just being a general member, which is also totally fine. Then we have our community advocate level 2s. They get more experience in that they either serve on a chapter board, or they are our service navigators, who again get that additional step of training. These are more experienced individuals. They get more training, and they've been with us for at least enough time to do either of these things. And they demonstrate a clear interest in utilizing that knowledge and skill that we give them to implement this social change and to just keep working with us as much as you project. Then past that, we have community advocate level 3. These are key service navigators that have demonstrated very particular passion, leadership, and dedication. And these are particular members of chapter boards who again have demonstrated clear passion, leadership, and dedication. This level is designated by our leadership team. So there's going to be more information on how to become a level 3, still kind of figuring out how that works. But essentially, this is to really emphasize those individuals that aren't necessarily on leadership team, but that are very, very clearly serving us in ways that are past that quote unquote average level 2. So this is going to be implemented over the next coming weeks within all chapters. I'm sure Cecily will be in touch with everyone to let you know how this is supposed to work. But know that this is happening. If you have questions, again, please direct those to Slido, and then you can also ask me, Martin, Cecily, whoever, afterwards for more information. But here is our solution. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alysha. I'm really excited to see how this community advocacy program plays out this year. We're now going to dive into our service navigation program, which, Martin, Erikka, and Hannah have been putting so much time into the service navigation program, and we're really, really excited to see how it takes off this year. I'm now going to give the floor over to Hannah, who's going to talk about our service navigation program. And Hannah, I'll try to give you remote control and see if it works.
All right, I'll let you know. Yeah, all right, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about our service navigation program. I know many of you are familiar with it as the Volunteer Case Management Program. Same thing, different name. We thought service navigation was a more accurate title because that's literally what we're doing. We were afraid that saying case manager gave the idea that we were literally doing everything for a person to try to fix their situation, when really we are more of a bridge between someone who's struggling and the services that they need. So we just thought this really fit who we are better. Let's see if this works. Okay. Sorry, I think it's just a little laggy, but it works. So what our program is it's a free opt-in service for those experiencing or at risk of homelessness to support them in reaching their goals. The core values of our team are innovating volunteer-based services for homeless individuals, providing low barrier access to basic needs and services, fostering a long-term and person-centered approach to homeless services, and applying best practices to service navigation. So as you guys know, low barrier to services and relationship-based service is kind of like the main thing of MSP, and it's like one of our both very prominent in our values. So to access our program, you really just need a way to contact, some method of contact. So like a phone or an email, that is all you need to get into our program. And then of course, relationship-based service, just really trying to respect the person, give them dignity, listen to them, just treat them like a human being is what we're all about. So our program structure is at the top, there is me, Director of Service Navigation. I oversee all of the chapters, each service navigation team there. So then we introduced a new position called Case Coordinator. So at each chapter, the service navigation team will have a case coordinator who acts as their direct manager in a sense. So they will be the ones directly overseeing all the activity. And then below them is the service navigation team. So what is a service navigator? They are designated as a community advocate 2 or 3. They display a clear passion for service, excellent interpersonal skills and cultural competence, accountability, knowledge about homelessness, consistent commitment to Mustard Seed Project's mission. And the term of a service navigator is 1 year, including summer. This is a new policy we're implementing. Before, we would take this huge break over summer, and we just felt that was really unfair to our clients. So now we're asking all new service navigators to be active during summer. We just feel it is in the best interest of those we're trying to help. The service navigator responsibilities include attending weekly case conferences, maintaining consistent contact with clients, still participating in chapter functions, and effectively assisting clients within the scope of practice. And the scope of practice is, before it was very broad. We would kind of just let service navigators do whatever they felt they could for their clients, but we realized that the most effective way to help people is to really specialize in just a few services that we can do really, really well. So now with our more narrow scope of practice, this includes assisting with government and community applications, creating professional resumes, providing basic emotional support. So this is just being there for your client, checking in, making sure they're doing okay, showing them that they have someone on their side. It's just super important to show that support. There's also navigating community resources, referring clients to resources and programs, and then accessing the Community Relief Fund, which I think Martin talked about briefly before. This was previously called the VCM Fund. It's same thing, but we just kind of defined it a little bit more. So these are used to provide emergency funds for those for clients for homeless prevention and housing tenancy. So these can include rent subsidies like rental fee applications or rental assistance, healthcare subsidies like medication, basic needs, food, clothes, note-taking materials, anything that they could really need, and transportation subsidies like bus vouchers. Oops. Sorry, my slides got a little messed up. Thought I fixed that. Anyways, so the accomplishments of our service navigation team, just the last thing I'm going to talk about, just to really show you guys that we are accomplishing things and we are doing things. I just wanted to give you tangible evidence of that. So we've connected a client to an employment program. We connected an elderly client to an independent living facility, provided rental assistance for their first month of occupancy. We provided a family with funds for a month's worth of food. We connected a client for a GED program, provided him with funds to enroll, and connected them to a donated laptop. So that was the picture I had earlier, which I think Martin also showed, but I just really love this picture. And then we also connected 2 clients to a program to furnish their new homes. So that's Humble Designs, who we're working really closely with, and I'm really excited to continue working with them. We've provided a client with funds for a rental application fee, prevented the eviction of a client by providing rental assistance, and we assisted a client in accessing healthcare and provided a client with funds for bus fare and medication. So the main things that I would like you guys to take away from this is, 1, I know we talk a lot about hand up, not hand out. And some of you might be thinking, well, giving people money certainly seems like a handout. But when used properly, giving people money is a hand up, is helping people in their situation, even if it's just something like basic needs, giving people money for food that allows them to get out of survival mode a little bit and focus on what they really need to do to improve their situation. So we really see money as an opportunity for our clients and those we're trying to help. The second thing I wanted to say is just that this homelessness is a really, really big issue. And a lot of times it seems like a problem that just does not have an end. I feel that a lot. I've seen that a lot. I've had a lot of negativity thinking about it like that. But what has really helped me is looking at this list of accomplishments and seeing that, MSP isn't trying to make big systematic change. We're helping people on the individual level and trying to improve individual lives in any way that we can, whether it's something small like providing a laptop or something like helping someone not get evicted with rental assistance. Yeah, it's just really great to look back on the people that we've worked with, the relationships that we've built, and the lives that we've touched. Yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah. The service navigation program, this is really the core of our project. This is what we are really, really trying to accomplish when we serve our communities. So I highly recommend and highly encourage, if any of you are interested in becoming a service navigator. I know that the application just closed recently, but highly, highly encourage each of you to think about participating in this program, because this is truly, truly the core of what we do. So not only do we have a new robust service navigation program, but we're also really, really excited to present our new fundraising cohort designed by our Director of Fundraising, Quoc. Quoc has been working super, super hard to create a COVID-friendly project for all volunteers to participate in, which directly helps our community. The floor is all yours, Quoc. Take it away.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. So first I want to clarify what exactly that I do. And so on the chapter level, it said, Geetha, can you scroll down for me, please? Yeah. No, it's just like scroll up a bit. I'm on my phone right now because my internet died. So I have to use data, so I can't really control.
Oh, no worries. Okay, yeah, I can control for you.
Okay, thanks. So I just want to clarify like the 2 different types of fundraisers that we have. The first one is chapter level fundraisers, and they can be anything, such as like UCSD with a milk tea fundraisers, in which the money raised is used directly to buy materials for homeless outreach, such as food, water, and the running of the chapter. such as flyers, recruitment, and members engagement. In some cases, chapters want to raise money for a specific goal that we have in mind, such as raising the funds for a wash station for homeless shelters. In those cases, the money would be dedicated specifically to that cause. At the end of the quarter, whatever is left is dedicated to the Community Relief Fund, which used to be the VCM fund. So chapters have complete autonomy over like the chapter level fundraisers, and my job is to basically just coordinate with them to make their job easier. Geetha, can you scroll down? Okay, so this is what basically my job is, was project level fundraisers, like, and meant to solve fundamental problems that we see in our communities. It is a concerted effort that all chapters participate in, such as help send food and clothes to homeless individuals that we had about 2 years ago in 2019, where we try to raise money and to expand our outreach and volunteer case management operations. The most recent one that we had a few months ago was help homeless shelters survive COVID-19, in which we managed to raise enough money for about 420 care packages, splitting half between Riverside and San Diego. And then, so if you scroll down, Geetha. Okay, so this is, oh, okay. So this is like the newest fundraiser that we have, which is the Community Relief Fund. Hannah briefly mentioned about. It's basically an expansion of the VCM fund service, and we're hoping to raise $10,000 in the upcoming year to help our community survive the rent crisis. If you don't know what it is, it's basically because of COVID, people are not getting paid, and like the federal government put like a rent moratorium in which like people don't have to pay, but it doesn't, like, it just gets backed up. It doesn't like erase the rent. So it just like gets like piled up, and once it ends, people like would still have to owe that, people are still owe the money. So basically the fund's designed to be more inclusive and accessible, offering emergency funding for transportation, subsidies, medication, basic needs, and rent subsidies. And like Hannah said, it's basically provide people with like a brief reprieve from day-to-day survival. And yeah, so for this slide, it's basically my other fundraising projects is grant writing, corporate community sponsorships, website designing, corporate community sponsorships, Google Ads, nonprofit registries, and fundraising advertisement. So I'm gonna leave it up to Seti to introduce the Community Relief Fund that we have.
All right, everyone. Hi, I'm Seti, Director of Publicity. So, Geetha, if we can go to the next slide. I'll be introducing our fundraising video for the Community Relief Fund. As Quoc was just introducing, and basically to go over it again, we're fundraising to assist members of our community with emergency rental assistance as well as basic needs, which will also be described more in depth through this video. I just want to give a quick shout out. I cannot take credit for this video. We worked on it with great teamwork, everyone in the leadership board, but mainly Alysha, Quoc, and most importantly, Trisha from our UCSD chapter for helping us with the editing and putting it all together. So here it is.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and play the video. I apologize if it is extremely loud, but here we go.
Hi, my name is Karen Webster. I live at the homeless shelter called the Path of Life.
I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
When was your last meal?
My last meal was 2 days ago.
Okay. When was the last time you showered?
4 days ago.
Where did you sleep last night?
In the car.
When was the last time you spoke to your family?
2.5 years ago when I lost my mother.
As of 2019, California is the state with the highest homeless population in all of the United States, making up 27% of the total 550,000 individuals. Of those 500,000, 30% of this population consists of families, 6% are youth, and 6% are veterans. Living on the streets, people are constantly at risk of violence, malnutrition, and infectious diseases, as seen during the 2017 hepatitis A outbreak in San Diego, and more recently, COVID-19. A study done in 2017 indicates that people over 51 in homeless situations show signs of physical and cognitive decline, similar to those of 70 years or older, putting them at much higher risk of mortality to COVID-19. In a system underfunded, understaffed, and lacking political support, people face barriers to accesses, such as poor social networks, lack of basic needs, no documents, income, severe mental illness, stigma, physical disabilities, language barriers, information asymmetry, personal hardships, and more. Mustard Seed Project is composed entirely of college students and graduates who are dedicated to giving all the hands-on help we can to those in need. In the coming months, we are fundraising for our homeless neighbors, friends, families, and veterans who are most susceptible to the virus, as well as preparing for the renters crisis that is to come after. With $30, we can help an individual pay for their rent application. $40 can buy bus vouchers for the job interview. $100 can help pay their medication bills or provide basic necessities such as clothes, food, and water. With $500, we can provide them temporary rent aid for 1 month. We hope to be able to make a difference for those in need, no matter how small, and we hope to have your support in our mission.
I have no possessions except for 3 bags. No food, no money, no nothing. I'm reaching out to you guys for help. I would appreciate anything you could do.
Great. So yeah, these funds will be really, really important to address those barriers to the programs and services that was mentioned in the video. And we really need all the support we can get to help further expand on our mission and our vision for our communities. So this is the official launch of our video. We'll be posting it on the socials soon. So if all of you could help spread awareness and share it with everyone you know, that would be really, really great. Yeah, so also want to introduce to everyone our monthly newsletter, Reflect with the Mustard Seed Project. This was put together by Geetha and I. We launched our first newsletter last month in last month in August. And we will basically be covering each month monthly announcements. For example, last month we were introducing our service navigation program, and we announced the invite for the 2020 conference. That's today. Thank you all for being here. And then we also introduced our community advocacy program. And then additionally, for the upcoming newsletters, we're going to plan on covering current events that are related to homelessness each month. And then we hope to close off each newsletter with member and chapter recognition, such as a spotlight for many of our wonderful members that might have done something uniquely noteworthy for that month. And yeah, so if you guys aren't already signed up for the newsletter, you can easily do so through our website. It's on the main homepage. It'll show you a little box that says keep up with our fight by joining our newsletter, and then you just sign up and put your email address in. And go to the next slide. Yeah, so just want to close off by saying follow our social media accounts if you don't already. We are mostly prevalent on Instagram and Facebook right now. Hopefully we'll be building on our YouTube and Twitter pages, so keep a lookout for that in the future. And then we can always answer any questions, and you can receive any updates from our email on our website. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Quoc and Seti. Yeah, so everyone, please follow us on our social medias, email us if you have any questions, and also please look out for future fundraisers. So it is now time for me to introduce our second to last speaker. So she is our data collection whiz, our resident genius of the leadership team. And I would just like to introduce Erikka. So Erikka, whenever you are ready.
Hi, thanks for the introduction, Tommy. I want to clarify, I am not a genius, I promise you. But yeah, we're running a little bit behind on time, so I might brush over a couple things here or there. Most of what it is just going over the different types of data procedures that we're starting to implement this coming year. So do I have control of the slides? Cool, yeah, all right. So the first thing is gonna be dealing with chapter data collection. A lot of the problems that I came across kind of going through everything in the drive was that each chapter has their own method. So some chapters would collect, major information or career path, whereas others wouldn't or might collect something else. So it's like different information, different places. There was no real good way to capture events per chapter and therefore compare. And some edge cases weren't fleshed out, such as, how do we handle people that transfer or have the exact same name? Luckily, we haven't had to run into those two cases that I mentioned, but I kind of implemented some things to mitigate these issues. So first, there's going to be a uniform roster update process. I've trained the secretaries beforehand on a lot of this, so they'll have more details on what to do. It's going to make everything more uniform for sure, and I've also formalized a process for collecting that specific information. And finally, the introduction of MSPIDs. Think of it like a student PID number, or like a California license number, or some sort of number that various groups use to kind of track better. It's just going to make it easier to keep track of hours, keep track of who people are, and things along those lines. And so with that, I kind of want to just go over a brief how this works. It's broken down pretty much into 3 phases. Phase 1 is before the outreaches begin. What data gets collected. Phase 2 is during, and phase 3 is finally after. So at that, in the beginning, the goal is pretty much to figure out who exactly our active volunteers going to be for this term. And with that, I'll have the secretary send me a list of people who are leaving or graduated or taking a break, as well as any contact information that changes. And then new volunteers will fill out the MSP waiver. So this is a little different because only the new volunteers are going to fill out the MSP waiver as they come in. Returning members won't have to do that unless they kind of leave for a very long period and have to return. And what I really want to stress is do not let a volunteer do anything MSP related without signing this waiver. It's just a whole liability issue and can cause problems. And then from there, I'll send the MSP IDs to the secretaries, and you guys have that roster list once it's finalized. During the term, the goal for this one is to just keep tabs on how things go throughout. So if there wasn't COVID, we'd have outreach, and there was this amazing idea given by Quoc to kind of a Google form for the volunteer coordinators that after they go on an outreach, they write up a quick summary, some key takeaways or whatever, and submit it each time. So we'd have a record of things as they go throughout, rather than right now it's kind of variable how that is tracked. And then finally, there's this end of term template that tracks a lot of the chapter event information and attendance. So the beauty is if you kind of do number 2 throughout, it'll be pretty easy to submit because all you have to do is submit that end of term template, and that's pretty much it. That gives us this whole kind of process between the 3 phases that has this living dynamic database of our members, information on how the events go, and things along those lines. And then for another part, the other part of data that I've kind of started is with service navigation. So past year it was called case management. A lot of that, it was a little bit of a pilot program and is a little hidden in a way. I think, I feel like there's a slight disconnect in terms of what we were able to accomplish, but also what the chapters didn't really get to hear, stuff like that. And so a way to kind of break that or fix that is find better ways to collect data so we can just report back to the chapters, hey, this is what your members are doing. This is awesome, and stuff like that. If you remember what Hannah kind of talked about, we have narrowed our scope to be specific and quantifiable coded data. So it's broken down into 5 basic groups and broken down even more so we can have better insight and analytics for future use once we have enough data points for that. But that's this is a quick breakdown. And even just with this and our pilot program from this past year, this is just this past year we had 11 service navigators, we were able to help 23 people, which is awesome. And you can kind of see like it's broken down between the chapters. We don't have this past year, we didn't have anyone from SDSU just because we were kind of piloting it out a bit. But so with the new people that we just interviewed and are accepting and eventually going to train, we'll have more and we'll therefore be able to help more. With just 11 people, we were able to help more than double, right? So that's pretty awesome in terms of the services rendered. There were referrals, community relief fund, all that stuff. One thing I want to point out is definitely the community relief fund. We just started it this past year and it is already the most used service that we have. This is all of the codified information that, Hannah mentioned, and just being able to see it like this in graphs and stuff is super important for, donors, for grants, for getting partners to work with us. As SD from Humble mentioned, a lot of that data is very helpful in terms of being able to grow further and do more. And so with these kind of in place, I'm excited to see what happens and see how we kind of are able to do things. Yeah, that was a little fast. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out or anything like that. But that's all I have for today. Thank you.